Italy is too big to do it all. You have 20 regions, hundreds of cities, and thousands of villages. The choices are overwhelming. Today, we're going to show you the places that are worth the hype and the time. I'm Angel Castellanos with The Tour Guide, a tour company that runs and operates tours in Italy and all over Europe. In this episode, we're counting down the top 36 places to visit in Italy, from the iconic must-sees to those hidden spots locals just want to keep to themselves. So stick around to the end for the off-the-beaten-path picks and the #1 spot, which is definitely worth the hype. Kicking it off at number 36 is a place that proves even forgotten towns deserve your time. Tucked just 25 miles from Rome is San Polo dei Cavalieri. The highlight is the castle that dominates the town and the lower Aniene and Sabina valleys. The Castello Orsini Cesi Borghese is a must-see for castle lovers, as it's a complete time capsule, and also the site of the world's first scientific academy, founded by Galileo. Come here for a half-day escape or linger overnight if time is on your side. Buses are limited, so a rental car is your best bet to get here. When open-flame furnaces became a fire hazard, Venice exiled all glassmaking to Murano in 1291 and made sure the artisans stayed there. The tradition survives, and today you can still see a master at work, browse the shops for tiny trinkets, and see expensive chandeliers in the making. Join a half-day tour which includes transportation, then head back to Venice or onto Murano. You don't expect a place with thermal baths, an olive oil festival, and a hulking medieval castle to feel under the radar, but Palombara Sabina does. Perched on the Sabine Hills northeast of Rome, it offers views that stretch towards the Apennines. Be sure to check out the 11th century Castello Savelli looming over it all. You'll need a car to get there, but the payoff is a town where daily life still outshines tourism. That is just a taste of what lies off the beaten path. Up next, we're talking about that beach town in Sicily, so good locals want to keep it secret, and a foodie town that makes Bologna look humble. Sicily's capital is loud, chaotic, and impossible to ignore. A city of crumbling facades, clattering scooters, and churches so ornate they feel defiant. Dive into the madness of the markets, feast on the arancini and cannoli, then escape the noise by climbing Monte Pellegrino for a spectacular view. Palermo doesn't try to please everyone, but give it a couple of nights and you'll leave with an appreciation for its defiant charm. The world's most famous pizza is served in a place most Italians couldn't point to on a map. The unlikely stage is Caiazzo, where Franco Pepe has returned home to set up his pizzeria Pepe in Grani. He rewrote the rules of pizza, we've had it, and it's the best pizza you can hope to have in Italy. Before your reservation, get there early to stroll the narrow lanes of the town. If you're serious about food, take the 50-minute drive from Naples or come by train for one night. Built on a ridge in Umbria, this hill town is the birthplace of St. Francis and home to a basilica that reshaped medieval art. Giotto's frescoes inside the Basilica di San Francesco are worth the trip alone, but so are the fortress views and the smaller churches tucked into the stone alleys. This is best done with your own set of wheels or even as an organized day trip from Rome. If you like what you see so far, smash that like and subscribe button so we don't get fired. As the namesake of the world's most famous coastline, Amalfi is hot, crowded, and overpriced. Still, it earns its place on this list for a good reason. The harbor opens to views of cliffs stacked with pastel houses. The medieval core with its important cathedral winds past limoncello shops and into courtyards older than most nations. And the town doubles as a transportation hub with ferries and buses to Positano, Ravello, and beyond. Don't tap out just yet. There's another coastal town locals would rather keep secret. A crown of stone overlooking the vast Chiana Valley, Cortona is that dreamy town you know from under the Tuscan sun. Tour groups come here in waves, but stay a night and the town exhales. Quiet lanes, warm shop windows, clinking glasses on shaded patios, and cafes that make you linger. Plus, views that reach Lake Trasimeno. It may not be the quietest stop in Tuscany, but for bucket list travelers, it's well worth the train trip for a night stay. If your heart yearns for red wine and cobblestones, aim for this hill town in southern Tuscany. This is Vino Nobile country, where every doorway leads to a cellar and hills work you harder than a treadmill, while Val d'Orcia views hog the horizon. Spend the night here to sip wine where it was born and wake up to a countryside that feels straight out of a fresco. Modena is small, proud, and knows how to impress. The Ferrari museums are a shrine to speed, while balsamic cellars honor slow perfection. On the racetrack, V12s echo like an aria. In the other, rows of barrels breathe quietly as vinegar transforms drop by drop. You can chase thrills for yourself at 200 miles an hour or taste black gold. The city is compact enough for a day trip from Bologna and easily reached by train. If you love food as much as we do, stick around to learn where the true heart of Italian food lives. Cheaper than Capri, softer sand than the Amalfi Coast, and better food than Venice, San Vito Lo Capo is the beach Sicilians don't brag about because they'd rather keep it to themselves. The Star is a long crescent of fine white sand backed by turquoise water made for floating. Between swims, wander into town for couscous with fish or hike into the Zingaro Nature Reserve to claim a cove as your own. For a laid-back escape, rent a car and spend a couple of days exploring the area. Lucca's claim to fame is a quirk of history, mighty walls built for a battle that actually never came. Today, these fortifications host tree-shaded paths that wrap around a medieval core of towers, palaces, and churches. Highlights include Puccini's childhood home, the Guinigi Tower with its rooftop trees, and the elliptical Piazza dell'Anfiteatro. Spend a day here to enjoy Tuscany without the crowds, but don't expect much nightlife once the day trippers leave. Like what you see so far? Hit that like button so I know you're real and not just another ghost in the Roman Forum. At number 24, we climb high into the clouds. Erice is a mountaintop fortress where Sicily's ancient past feels frozen in stone. Walk the Castello di Venere and its Balio Gardens, climb the Duomo Bell Tower, and don't leave without almond cookies from Maria Grammatico's famed bakery. Come on a half-day tour, enjoy the atmosphere, then head back to your boutique hotel by the sea. Gubbio is more than medieval, it's a full-on time capsule, built on the bones of ancient Umbrians long before Rome swaggered onto the scene. Its stone lanes feel frozen in time, yet this is a town where St. Francis supposedly stared down a wolf and walked away with a legend. The rest of Gubbio is just surreal. A vast square floating above the valley, a palace crammed with frescoes, and a two-person cable car that's basically medieval tech moonlighting as public transit. Hire a car to get here if you prefer authenticity over glossy Instagram bait, because Gubbio delivers in spades. Only 30 minutes from Palermo, Monreale is proof that medieval rulers competed not just with armies, but with art. The main draw is the Norman Cathedral, where floor-to-ceiling mosaics glitter in gold and tell centuries-old tales. The adjoining cloister softens the mood with palm-framed courtyards and carved columns. Come by bus, taxi, or car for the day, and before you head back to Palermo, stick around for the seaside stunner with Norman roots. If you love Italian food, you need to visit Parma, where Parmigiano Reggiano and Prosciutto di Parma are born. Flavors so iconic, they shaped how the world thinks about Italian food. The pro move is to wake up early and hit a caseificio to watch Parmigiano Reggiano come to life, then taste it at its source. Step into a cheese cathedral, endless aisles of aging wheels stacked to the rafters, and you'll get it. This isn't just dairy, it's devotion. For culture without crowds and meals you'll brag about, give yourself at least one night. 2 if you're a foodie. Murano is the Instagram influencer of the Venetian islands. It's a tiny fishing village dressed in a riot of color, a tradition born from fishermen needing to spot their houses through the fog. But don't just come to take photos, join our tour to watch local women stitch their lace just as their mothers and grandmothers did, then linger with a gelato as sweet as the setting. It's an easy feel-good break from Venice and works best as a guided tour with its neighbor Murano. Coming in at number 19, Varenna proves that not every Lake Como town needs endless luxury hotels to shine. This is beauty without the buzz. Spend your day here walking the lakeside path, checking out Villa Cipresi's gardens, and by evening, grab a drink by the water and just let it sink in. Settle in for as long as time allows because this is a great base for exploring the lake, or keep it as a quick day trip from other parts of the region. Perched where Lake Como splits into two, Bellagio has lured the glamorous for centuries. Narrow staircases lead past high-end shops and wine bars, while Grand Hotel Villa Cervelloni offers lakefront views framed by mountains. This is a place to live out your fantasy, to let your most beautiful clothes catch the Italian sun, and to surrender to that Dolce Vita life. Stay the night, and you get Bellagio without the crowds. If you like what you see so far, hook us up with a like and subscribe so we can keep making these videos. If Naples feels too gritty and Amalfi too crowded, Sorrento is your compromise. Its historic center mixes limoncello shops with Roman ruins, and the Marina Grande offers seafood straight off the boats. Ferries connect you to Capri while buses link onward to Positano and Amalfi. It's touristy and not cheap, but for a base with easy logistics, it does the trick. Stick around because soon we're pulling into the town that defines the whole coastline. Romans came to Tivoli to cool off, and you can too, thanks to a direct train from Rome's Tiburtina station. Pack some good shoes and a sense of wonder and prepare for a day with spectacular sights. Start with a UNESCO-listed Villa d'Este, where fountains cascade down the hillside, then make your way to Hadrian's Villa to see ruins on a grand scale. Give it a full day if you want to do it right, but know that summer crowds can be heavy. You've seen the hidden gems, and now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Landing at number 15 is a town that we call home when we're in Sicily, and that truly has it all, Cefalù. This Sicilian icon perfectly blends fishing village vibes with imposing Norman heritage, where you can spend your day on the sandy beach, climb La Rocca for panoramic views, or visit a UNESCO-listed cathedral to see its striking mosaics. Give it 2 nights with a rental car to experience the charm without feeling rushed. Planned as an ideal city by a pope in the 15th century, Pienza is a living monument to Renaissance urban design. It's also the king of cheese. Admire the cathedral symmetry, pretend you understand Palazzo Piccolomini's geometry, then give in and buy pecorino cheese in whatever shape, flavor, or stage of aging speaks to you. You don't need more than a half day, and don't get too comfortable because the real Renaissance birthplace is still coming up at number 3. This Tuscan town is a silhouette of medieval ambition, a Manhattan of stone towers built for bragging rights. 14 of the original 72 still stand, and you can climb the tallest, Torre Grossa, for a countryside view that outshines the towers themselves. It's crowded and touristy, but such a vibe, so certainly well worth renting a car to see Tuscany with a vertical edge. Milan is Italy's sleek powerhouse, forever moving forward, but rooted in history. Marvel at the Duomo, a cathedral so ornate it took nearly 6 centuries to finish. Then slip inside of Santa Maria delle Grazie to stand before Da Vinci's Last Supper. As the day softens, follow the glow of the Navili canals and raise a spritz as the sky turns gold. Give it a solid day before heading to Lake Como or Venice. In 79 AD, Vesuvius threw a catastrophic temper tantrum, creating the world's most dramatic time capsule. Here, you don't just tour the ruins, you can trace the footsteps of ancient Romans, their daily lives frozen beneath layers of ash. You can walk the ancient cobblestones of Via dell'Abbondanza, peer into the remains of homes and villas, and stand in the shadows of the volcano that changed everything. Pompeii is history at its most raw and real, and best explore on a guided day trip from Rome. We've made it to the top 10, and from here on out, every place is a legend, a masterpiece, and a place that has to be seen to be believed. This Sicilian city was once the most powerful in the ancient world. Today, it's a place where Roman ruins and elegant cafes sit side by side. Get lost on the island of Ortigia in Syracuse, where the famous Duomo is built into the columns of a Greek temple. Then, check out the sprawling archaeological park to see a Greek theater carved from stone. 2 nights here, paired with a rental car, is enough to feel the weight of its history and enjoy the coastal charm. Messy, loud, and a little rough around the edges, that's Naples in a nutshell. But it's also what makes Naples feel more alive than anywhere else in Italy. Give in to the beautiful chaos, eat your way through the neighborhoods, grabbing pizza from its birthplace and coffee that could power a Vespa. Then, let yourself get lost in the dizzying lanes of Spaccanapoli before finding a moment of reprieve among the ancient treasures in the Archaeological Museum. 2 nights here, and you'll be ready to head to the Amalfi Coast. You like this list and what you see so far? Help us by making more of this by liking and subscribing. Medieval lecture halls, leaning brick towers, and UNESCO-listed porticos set Bologna's scene long before food steals it. Follow the scent into the Quadrilatero market, where butchers and cheesemongers stack Parmigiano-like monuments and mortadella is sliced paper-thin with pride. Follow the porticos to the San Luca Monastery for sweeping views over terracotta rooftops, then settle into an enoteca for what is guaranteed to be a memorable meal. Bologna doesn't shout for attention, but after 2 nights, it becomes a secret you're almost reluctant to share. Sliding in at number 7 is Taormina, Sicily's long-running showstopper that I know you've seen on White Lotus, but it's the volcano views, Greek ruins, and spritzes that really compete for your attention here. Stop by Teatro Antico di Taormina, where stone arches frame a volcano and the sea in one impossible view. Down below is Isola Bella, the swim spot of your dreams, and stroll down Corso Umberto with a cannoli in hand. Taormina is easy luxury with a side of chaos. 2 nights is perfect before you chase Sicily's deeper, more authentic cultures. Florence may hog the Renaissance spotlight, but Siena holds its ground with Gothic medieval swagger and a love of pageantry. Check out Piazza del Campo, where the Palio horse race turns civic rivalry into spectacle. Explore Siena's cathedral, black and white interior, and walk down the narrow lanes lined with trattorias serving hearty Tuscan fare. It's busier than you think for a smaller city, but a night or 2 here from Florence gives you that medieval atmosphere without the rush. Now, let's head to the coast to find the queens of Italian travel. A cliffside rainbow of houses toward the sea, Positano wears its crown as Amalfi's queen with confidence. Hop on a boat and you'll definitely see why. It's best admired by water, where pastel facades rise like a theater scene against the cliffs. Back on land, settle into a cafe terrace and let the show continue. Spend the night if you like being swept up in the buzz, or come for the day and slip away before the crowds and prices overwhelm. The ancient Romans knew a good hideaway when they saw one, and Capri was theirs long before it became a magnet for the rich and famous. This is a place where celebrity sightings and ancient Roman villas coexist with stunning natural beauty. Join the jet-setters on a boat tour around the island and walk the winding paths to Emperor Tiberius's ancient palace, and then slip away to overpriced cocktails in La Piazzetta. Capri doesn't get cheaper after dark, but it does get more exclusive. If you can swing it, fly or ferry in for the ultimate Italian splurge. The Renaissance wasn't born in Florence by accident. It was bankrolled here, painted here, and still clings to every piazza. You can see Michelangelo's David in the Accademia, stand beneath Brunelleschi's dome at the Duomo, and then spend at least an afternoon in the Uffizi gallery letting Botticelli and Caravaggio fight for your attention. 2 nights is a minimum to see the highlights. Coming in at number 2 is La Serenissima, Venice, the world's most improbable city, floating on hundreds of islands and stitched together by canals and centuries of drama. You can step into the Doge's palace, where gilded chambers and shadowy prisons tell the story of Venice's rise and fall. Then linger over an overpriced coffee at Cafe Florence. Gliding through the canals on a gondola is basically a rite of passage, while Cannaregio food tours reveal the taste of authentic Venetian life. Venice is flawed, crowded, and unforgettable. See it, savor it, then slip away before the water rises. And here we are, number 1, which should not be a surprise, but it's Rome. The word itself used to define civilization, and it isn't just Italy's capital. It's a combination of history, chaos, and splendor rolled into one. Join a guided tour of the Colosseum underground, get the Forum's best angles from the Capitoline, and finish with St. Peter's before surrendering to spritzes in Trastevere. Yes, the main attractions draw crowds and high prices, but 3 to 4 days is enough to balance the must-sees with lazy piazza time. We made it. 36 reasons why Italy will never fit into one trip. We went from the Amalfi Coast to quiet hilltop towns, cutting through the hype and giving you the quick hits on exactly what you need to know about each place. Thanks for letting me be your travel nerd with a map, guiding you from the tourist traps to the good stuff. I'm Angel Castellanos with a tour guide. Don't forget to comment down below on the places you love or what we left out. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you great content. Happy travels.